this in my notes, and I forgot what it was. Cloud of darkness. Booze. So you got number 19. And the angel of the Lord went before the camp of Israel, removed and went behind them, and the pillar of the cloud went from their face and stood behind them. Number 20. And it came between the camp of the Egyptians and the camp of Israel, and was a cloud and darkness to them, but it gave light by the night to these, that the one came not near the other all night. They didn't get close to one another. Night. I don't know, I guess this has just jumped out at me this time, but all my years of reading of these stories, it never occurred to me that this took place at night. The darkness of the night. I want you to think about the time of year. We're somewhere about April time frame, about this time of year. The nights, probably pretty close to 12 hours, 10 to 12 hours in length. So let's say you got a 10-hour period where all these people got to march through the sea. We lose track, I think, of the magnitude this was. So you get number 21. Moses did as he was told. He comes up, he stretched out his hand over the sea. The Lord caused the sea back by a strong east wind all that night. And the sea was made dry, and the waters were divided. Moses stretched out his rod. The sea parted. Water walled up on either side. This served a couple of purposes. One is that God it offered a path for the Israelites to walk. But secondly, it made it where the Egyptians could not come around and attack from the side or from the flanks. They couldn't get out into the water and boats, whatever, and attack from the side. There was a wall there. The only way the Egyptians could pursue is down the same path. And we think about this, and often we picture the Israelites walking through a sort of a narrow path. If you ever saw the movie The Ten Commandments, the water rolled back and they came through 3 or 4 at a time. This is a picture of on the PowerPoint. I don't know if the internet can see that or not, because I don't know if Chris normally doesn't raise the thing up high enough. But generally we think about coming through them 3 or 4 or 5 wide. And I did a little mathematics on that. And I want you to pay attention to this. If that's true, I assume about 1 million people with the Israelite camp. Probably. They were more like 2 to 3 million. Remember when they left, it said 600,000 men, not counting children. 600,000 if they were married, had a wife, that'd be 600,000 wives, that's 1.2 million. If you throw in a few children, let's say on the average of 2 children per family, that's another 1.2 million. So now you're up to 2.5 million. Maybe 3 million. I chose 1 million to be conservative. And I used the formula if they were standing side by side, shoulder to shoulder. 10 men wide. And if there was 3-foot spacing between each group, that length of people would be almost 60 miles from 1 million people. You're not going to march 60 miles in one night. It's not going to happen. Remember the time frame, maybe 10 hours at best. So the water was much wider than what? The movie Ten Commandments or the picture we just saw. So I changed my numbers. I went back and said, okay, let's put 100 people shoulder to shoulder. And that's about the length of a football field. If you run those people through that opening, it would still be about almost 6 miles in length. But that's a doable thing in the course of a night, walk 6 miles. So the water, if it was as wide as a football field, would let them walk through shoulder to shoulder, 100 people wide. 100 people wide is not very realistic, shoulder to shoulder. See, they're moving. They got all their possessions. They got a cart probably pulling things. They've got livestock. So you're not going to get 100 people shoulder to shoulder. There's going to be some distancing between them. The parting of this sea could have easily been a mile in width. Just to let the people get through. 1 million. Probably there's more like 3 million, maybe more. So we picture this in our mind. We think a little bit of yodeling, a few. No, this was a gigantic opening. Had to have been. Moses stretched forth his rod. The seas divided. Someone said it just a current, the tide came in and moved the seas out and it just walked through. The seas divided. The water was walled up. The Israelites walked through on dry land. That's a miracle within itself. The land was dry. No mud. They didn't get their feet dirty. They didn't get their carts stuck in the mud. See, it's hard for us to picture that, really. So the people were told to move forward. When they got there, Moses held up his rod. When he did, the seas parted. By cover of the light of the fire, pillar of fire, they had light. That's pretty amazing too. That there'd be enough light for the great distance that they would have to travel. But they walked through on dry land. So you got number 22. The children of Israel went into the midst of the sea upon dry land, and the waters were a wall. A wall unto them of the right hand and on their left. So they're going through. Sometime in the course of the night, the Egyptians finally made their way through the cloud or through the darkness, but they came in pursuit, number 23. They went in after them in the midst of the sea. All the horses, the chariots, and the horsemen. And it came to pass, number 24, in the morning. In the morning. Probably about dawn. The Egyptians are in the midst of the sea, and they got where they could see a little bit because of the daylight. And they became fearful. Now they had to recognize the water on both sides. But things started happening to their military. Wheels started coming off the carts, the chariots. And they may have had those chariots that had those splines in the wheels where they come up near someone that's like a knife blade sticking out, and they come up near their enemy, and those wheels would just cut the enemy up. But those wheels wasn't doing him any good now. Because see, the angel of God, the Lord himself, recognized the Egyptians as an enemy, and he prepared and caused them trouble. The wheels came off. And they became frightened. And in the midst of this sea with the waters on both sides, which was certainly unnatural, they had to recognize that as being miraculous. The wheels coming off, they recognized they're fighting against God. They're fighting against the God of Israel. So you got number 24. And it came to pass that the morning watch, that's early in the morning, the Lord looked upon the host of the Egyptians through the pillar of fire and the cloud, and troubled the host of Egyptians, and it took off the chariots' wheels, and they drave them heavily. So the Egyptians said, "Let us flee the face of Israel, for the Lord fighteth for them against the Egyptians." With the wheels on the ground, with the wheels taken off, the chariot became heavy. They had to drag them. The horses had to drag this heavy load, slowed them down. And they recognized they're fighting against the Lord of Israel. Let us flee from the face of Israel, for the Lord fighteth for them. What did Moses say? Stand back and watch. Israelites, stand back and watch and see how God is going to have your provide salvation for you today. And they're watching it. The Egyptians are now trying to flee.